Hi everybody, my name is Ram Saywal, and I decided with my friend Rachel that I would video document this whole hip replacement surgery experience, the before and the after, in part for people who know me so you can see my progress, but then also for posterity because at 47 I'm certainly pretty young to be doing something like this, and I'm also really active. So it's for people in the future who may be facing the same circumstances to see how things go for me. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about my background, just physically what I've done, and then also about where I am today. We're 6 days out from surgery, and this is video number 1, okay? So we'll keep you posted pretty regularly. So if you don't know me, I have kind of two lives. One is an English teacher, which I've done often in my adult life, and the other is doing professional fitness stuff. And I've been doing that since probably 2001 or 2002. I wasn't terribly active as an adult before that, but my mother died right before hip replacement surgery at 53, coincidentally. And after she died, I left the PhD program at UT, and I just lost my mind in grief and quit smoking. I was a smoker, and at first I started running. So I started running. I did a marathon 4 months after quitting smoking. I did a triathlon, and then I started bike racing. I bike raced for a long time, and then eventually I went back to running, marathon mostly. We're not talking short. Marathon, ultra marathon. I've run 3 50-mile trail runs and 1 2. That's part because not many people are stupid enough to do that stuff. And then after that, I started teaching a lot of dance fitness. We have a cat.
Mama.
We have a cat. That's what you hear. Doing dance fitness, I teach bar, yoga, Pilates, all that stuff. So suffice it to say, I've been pretty hard on my bones. About 2 years ago, I had a knee issue first, but I think the doctors agree that the knee issue is a hip issue. And then I remember telling jokes to my friend Rachel. We share a place. Telling her jokes in the morning about feeling like I had hip dysplasia and not knowing how true that actually would turn out to be. So I started having symptoms with my hip, not so debilitating at first, but certainly there periodically, and then progressively getting worse. And for the longest time, I thought it was soft tissue, which just blinded by the idea that something could be wrong with my bones. If you know anybody who's really fit, can be kind of cocky that way and think you're somewhat invincible, just physically very hardy. So I saw probably, Rachel and I discussed maybe 15 different people, not in once considering seeing a surgeon, chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, orosty people, acupuncture, and then finally I stopped teaching fitness stuff full time by the grace of God just in time to get insurance, to find out in January when I finally was trying one last thing, which was bone marrow, like basically stem cell. And I went to a really nice doctor in Austin at a place called Charm, and he was the first who told me that was it, that there was no way, that he would love if he could help me, but I had basically moderate to severe osteoarthritis. I had a whole bunch of stuff torn, which is sadly like secondary, and that I had what's called avascular necrosis, which is somewhere along the way, and they're not sure how, I lost blood flow to the top of my femur bone, and it died. And he said, there's nothing you can do about that or replace the hip. So he referred me to a man in Austin who works with Shelby Carter, who's very famous. I think I have that last name right. He works with Shelby Carter. His name is Dr. Manuel Jacob, who by the time I went to him, I was still grieving. I mean, at first I was just completely devastated. Went to try to teach class that night at Lifetime and just could not stop crying. But then you just go through all the stages of grief, and as I got progressively so much worse, to the point where I was like, okay, I actually am looking forward to the surgery because I really can't move. So that's where we're at now. Dr. Jacob Manuel has been great so far. He convinced me that as young as I am at 47, in this world I'm very young. I mean, I know I'm not young in a normal world. Very young, very fit, that I would bounce right back, and he thought that 8 weeks later I'd be able to do everything I do now, except they don't want me to run. That was really hard for me because I love running. I've done a lot of running, And that was a grief to let go of that. But we all let go of things. That's part of life, right? So we just learn how to let go with grace and love. So here I am now. My range of motion at this point I'm showing you because we're going to watch how it improves. So I, for the first time 2 days ago, actually succumbed and asked Rachel to put on my shoe for me. As for me to take my hip, this is my right hip, and externally rotate it and flex it is extremely painful. The only thing that I can do without pain, besides flexing the hip and rotating the hip, I can't do that, is I can flex my knee, so I can take my socks off like that. But if you know me, you know I'm extremely flexible. So if you look at my healthy hip, this is me, right? Able to do all kinds of stuff. So it's a huge loss of range of motion, and it's painful during the day, and at night it's so painful that it's sleeping, as anybody who's had this kind of issue before with a joint knows, sleeping's pretty hard to come by. So that's it. 6 days. We'll probably update you the day before. They're having me go do that COVID testing day or two before, and then surgery is scheduled for next Thursday. All right, so we'll keep you guys posted, and thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, good morning, everyone. So we are at the day of surgery. So this is our hip replacement surgery video number 2. I did my COVID testing Tuesday afternoon, and I thought it was awful, survivable, but awful. And then they had me do a bunch of other testing. And then I taught my last class at Lifetime Tuesday day, and I literally hobbled through one last dance last night to get us to virtual class number 108. So I said last time my surgeon's name was Manuel Jacob. It's actually Jacob Manuel, and Jacob Manuel is going to give me a new hip in a few hours, and we will see you guys on the other side. We'll update you once I'm up in the room after post-op, how I am. Bye. Okay, hi everybody. So I think Rachel's going to compile my walking documentation with this one. So this will be hip replacement video number 3. So I'm up in the recovery room. I'm here for a night. Dr. Manuel said my hip was really, really bad, but that I was pretty easy. And then, you know, the funny small source of pride is that they had to ask me about my resting heart rate because it kept going so low, it was making the machines beep. So they asked me if I exercised, and I said, a little. Let's see, don't tell anybody this, but I'm trying to set Rachel up with the anesthesiologist. Because he's cute, and he's got good biceps, and I like a sense of humor, because apparently I'm told that I'm hard to keep under. Surprise, surprise. And so we passed that along to him, and he and his assistant were saying that they had, you know, billy clubs and some frying pans should I need a crock pot.
They'd use
a wok.
The cast iron.
So I totally dig that man. Holden, Dr. Holden?
Walton.
Well, see, she knows because she subconsciously agrees
right,
with
yes,
future husband.
Course.
All right, let's see, hopefully just one night. I've walked once. I'm not cleared to walk unassisted, but hopefully I'll walk again. So it was very much like ultra marathon, where as you get tired, you just look for a landmark and you say, I'm going to run to that. And I was like, I am going to walk to the Purell sanitation stand.
And she did it.
The PT advised me that was probably far enough. All right, let's see. I'm on good pain pills. I'm still in pain. Oh, and yeah, so here's my legs.
Really sexy
Don't be jealous
hospital
of
outfit.
the style. So I got the compression sleeves, which I think I'm gonna try to steal. No, I'm just kidding. But then I have the socks too. That really completes the look, and the half off sock.
She'll be dancing with these.
Mm-hmm. And they have these like weenie cold packs, but compared to sitting in ice, they're really nothing. And then my adorable gown, I know, it's just fantastic. See, I haven't done any reading or anything yet. I actually told Rachel that we should start mapping songs, which would be working, which just sounds like me, doesn't it? All right, love you, bye. Okay. Yes, I'm either going to be a good patient or a terrible one.
Scoot forward as best you can. And make sure to get you covered. Once you stand there. Arms up, please.
How do you do this with like 300-pound men?
Well, how do I do what? Put a belt on?
You're about to do. You're about to help lift me, right?
Well, you're allowed to put, we're going to take it one step at a time. The belt's just to help me guide you. anything were to go wrong.
Okay.
Alright, can you straighten out this leg? Lift it up a little bit. Hold it there. Don't let me move you. Push into my hand. Push, push, push. Good. Relax. Pull your heel backwards. Pull your heel that way. Good. Straighten out this one. Hold it there. Don't let me move you. Push, push, push. Relax. Pull your heel that way. Okay. Push your knees out into my hands. Push it together. Any numbness, tingling? Can you feel me touching you?
Again, it's still a little numb. But
Close your eyes for a second. Am I touching your right or your left?
Right,
Right or left?
left,
Right or left?
left,
Right or left?
left,
Right or left?
right,
Right or left?
right,
Right or left?
nothing.
Alright, good job.
She knows that I've been mirroring so long teaching that I don't know my right from my left.
Yeah, if I don't screw it up once a day, it's not a normal day for me. Alright. You feeling dizzy at all?
No, okay.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'5".
If we need to raise this back up, we can.
Oh, we're gonna have scooter races.
Yes.
Do you have a walker at home?
No, we have a cane.
Okay,
We
case
were-
management will help get you a walker if you need one, which you
Okay.
probably will.
That's what we were told.
Okay?
Yes.
Feet even. You're allowed to put as much weight as you can. Let me fix this.
Thank you.
Sexy sucks.
Oh, it's all, I just love this look.
Yeah.
Some duplicating.
I always like to just double check that I wrote down the weight things. So that's right. All right. Feet even. You're allowed to put as much weight as you can tolerate. Ready?
Yes.
Woohoo!
Covered here.
Covered. There we go.
Don't go anywhere just yet.
I've been used to putting so much weight on my left leg, it's gonna be a relearning thing.
Yep. So you're not recovering just from your surgery. You're recovering from
Being lopsided.
months, years, however long of compensating.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you dizzy after standing up?
No.
Okay. Can you feel your right hip?
As in pain? No, I feel my feet on the ground.
Yeah, can you just march in place a little bit?
Feel all four corners of my
Alright, you're looking okay. Do you need to use the restroom or anything while you're at it?
No.
You want to try using the restroom while you're at it? Alright. I'll go here for a second. Ready to walk?
Ready?
Yay. It's like walking on the moon.
Just remember, as far out as you go, you
Yeah.
need to come back.
That's good.
People always ask, "Their walker, then my surgery leg, then my other leg." Yes, I mean technically the order that we tell people if they do have to do a stopping pattern is walker, surgical leg, non-surgical leg.
Surgical leg first.
Correct. Or walker, then your surgical leg, then your
Oh, okay.
surgical
Well,
leg.
then I'm a pro.
Yeah, you're doing good. That being said, eventually I want you pushing the walker continuously like a shopping cart. Okay? That's going to force you to put more weight on your leg.
Yay.
All right, hi everybody. Wax on, wax off. So I'm about to be discharged. We're just waiting for one last dose of pain medicine. So far so good. I've walked stairs. I've been cleared to walk without help, with the assistance of a walker for a few days, and then eventually graduating to a cane. They're sending me home with more compression sleeves for my thighs, and then want me to ice as often as possible for the swelling. And then it just hurts, but they say that today and tomorrow are probably the worst, and then it'll slowly start to get better. So Rachel's taking me home. We'll climb our 39 steps carefully,
Woohoo!
and then I probably won't leave the home for a few days anyway, so it's all good. I just wanted to thank everybody. I've gotten so many sweet messages and cards and people donating gift cards and all that stuff, and I really, really appreciate it, because I still had to pay about a $2,000 deductible, so given that I hadn't really made much money other than my school job for long, that all helps a lot. So thank you. And I love you guys, and I hope to see you soon. If everything goes well, my intention is to come back to Ballet Austin with help. on July 11th for Cardio Funk and Arms and Abs, and then to come back on like the 13th, that following Monday at Lifetime, and just saying more than doing, and having Rachel and Carrie help me as they always do. So I'll update you guys every few days, because again, this is mostly for people who might in the future know someone who has to go through this. You can compile it, we'll compile it, and we'll save it, and you can send it to them. All right, love you, bye. Hi you guys, it's hip replacement surgery video number 5, and I'm on the upswing, so I'm not even 48 hours out. I don't feel like I need the walker. I'm decreasing my pain medicine, and I can wait there. I think that the big, for me, is the big accomplishment is when I start getting my range of motion back. So a couple things I wanted to tell you. Number one, I should have gotten an MRI much sooner than I did. That's one lesson that Rachel and I agree on that I should have learned. I didn't have any insurance at the time. I did an MRI on my knee, and it cost me $1,600 of my own money, and it didn't tell me anything. So I was reluctant to get an MRI on my hip, but I will say to you guys, if any of you all are headed down my road, debilitation, get an MRI sooner rather than later. Absolutely, it's worth it, because I think my knee kind of is struggling with it, or will. We may have caught it in time, but it's also about being compensatory. So you're just screwing yourself up more the longer you let yourself compensate for things. I wanted to show you my incision. I've got my hose. They give you these compression hose to make sure you don't get blood clots. You gotta worry about blood clots. My incision is here. It's about 6 inches long. And I have my first in-home therapy appointment today at 3. So they send a physical therapist to you for a little bit, and then you go to them after that. But everyone has told me that you should do this, don't hesitate, you won't regret it. And at least as of now, I can say I shouldn't have hesitated, and I don't regret it. I regret not being able to exercise for a bit, but it was the right thing to do, and I think I'm gonna come back stronger than I was before. All right, that's about it. If any of you guys, this video is meant for those of you who know someone who's gonna do this, or if you need to do this. If anybody wants to reach out to me, if I can be helpful to you, I will tell you. If I can't help you, I'll say I don't know. All right, love you guys, see you later. Hi everybody. So this is hip replacement surgery video number 6. Let's see, I had the surgery last Thursday, 6/11, and it's now Tuesday, so I just wanted to update you guys. So I came home from the hospital on Friday, and then I think on Friday and Saturday, whether my body had really registered what had happened, because I hadn't really tanked yet. But then I started really getting very, very tired on Saturday and Sunday. In part, I think, because my body was finally understanding what had happened, but then also, I think, from the effects of, they gave me hydrocodone for the pain, the narcotics, and I don't know how anybody could be addicted to that stuff, because I think it's pretty awful. It was making me dizzy, it was making me nauseous, and it was making me very, very tired. It was giving me all sorts of intestinal stuff, so I stopped taking that, and I'm only taking a little bit at night to help me sleep. I'm just trying to take Tylenol during the day. But yesterday, Monday, I felt pretty good. I got on an elliptical, just light resistance, nice and easy for 12 minutes. And today I got on an elliptical, nice and easy, just kind of spinning for 15 minutes. And then yesterday I said that I wanted to come back and teach at Lifetime today. And I did. I taught Pilates at 11:15 with Rachel demonstrating and me just speaking it. But from the time I said I would teach to the time I taught, I started having second thoughts for a couple of reasons. Number one, because my immune system is still compromised from the surgery. Number two, because the cases in Austin are on the rise again, and I don't want to encourage people to be unsafe. So I decided that, okay, that's probably it for Lifetime. I'm going to go back to teaching virtual classes starting tomorrow. Physical therapy came, and frankly, it's kind of a one-size-fits-all and not very helpful. I am walking without a cane. I am walking up and down stairs. I'm walking. I'm weight-bearing, and I stood today to teach the whole time. It was fine. So everything looks good. I think the challenge is, if you guys know me, being on an elliptical for even 15 minutes, I started to get sweaty. And I'm starting to lose my bandage, which they're not going to replace until Thursday. So I want to show you that. I'm still pretty swollen. Still pretty swollen, pretty taut. If you're squeamish or pious, then look away. So I started losing my bandage, and Rachel and I put KT tape there to try to keep the edge of it. So here's the incision. It's still pretty swollen, but they say it looks good. It's not hot, so it's not infected. And then I have to wear these compression hose, which are just lovely, as well as take baby aspirin, the compression hose for 2 weeks and the baby aspirin for a month to avoid blood clots. But I think everybody's called it when they said that it's not going to be about me doing too little, but rather me doing too much, because I already feel like I could do a lot more than many of doctors said that I probably should or could. So that's it. I will say 2 things. One, I am atypical, obviously. I was very, very fit, and I'm also, in this world, I'm very, very young. But I'll also say that I'm already moving with less pain than I was before. And while I have yet to really sort of start to increase my range of motion, I would say, in my opinion, the surgery was at this point, a big thumbs up. Yeah? All right, so look for an invite for virtual classes tomorrow. I will not be dancing for a while. One of the things they absolutely do not want me to do is do things like pivot, and that's almost unavoidable if I were trying to dance, so I'm not even gonna try. But I'll be with you guys with Carrie and Rachel in the morning, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, hi everybody. Hello. I believe this is hip replacement surgery video number 7. I think that's right. So I had my 2-week follow-up this morning, and there's good news, and then there's some not so good news. So first, the good news. The good news is that my incision looks great. I got the bandage off, and I can take the compression hose off, so I don't have to wear those nasty stockings anymore. She did say that I may get some compression shorts for a small issue I'm having, so I'll tell you that in a second. The good news is that I am cleared for outpatient physical therapy starting next week, and this physician's assistant for Dr. Manuel recommended ATI on Brody. And there are 2 therapists there, one by the name of Woody and one by the name of Michelle, who she sends people to. So if you have an opinion, anyone out there about ATI or those people, let me know. Let's see, I'm off narcotics. That's good news. I still have to take baby aspirin for a couple of weeks. And then possibly the best news of all, although it's sad news for a lot of other people, is they just stopped elective surgeries again. This morning, Governor Abbott stopped it in like 4 counties, including Travis County. So basically there was a month window when people could have gotten that elective surgery, and I was scheduled in that month, which is just amazing. So thank God I really came in under the wire there. Let's see, the not so good news. Let me first say, in good news, I had an excellent surgeon. And if I had to choose between the downside, which I'm about to say, and an excellent surgeon, I'm going to choose an excellent surgeon. I'm going to choose somebody who I don't see very much, who only sees me unconscious under a knife, but who's done thousands of these, and that's Dr. Manuel, over somebody who has a more intimate relationship with patients, which, I choose an excellent surgeon. That being said, I feel like a lot of the stuff surrounding the surgery has been very one-size-fits-all, to use Rachel's words. So for example, the physical therapist who was coming to my house, it was really just a joke, and I was just trying to be kind, but I've canceled the last one. The sum total of what she had me do was yesterday, she had me walking up and down 3 flights of stairs. Okay, as you guys know, I've done way more than that. I was walking up and down those stairs probably on the first day. So it just felt like she was not really looking at me. She was just being fairly generic. And then I saw the physician's assistant this morning. Nice lady, seems like a good lady, of Dr. Manuel, but she doesn't know me. And I felt like she was treating me kind of one size fits all too. So basically she said she's not really clearing me for any activity besides physical therapy. And those of you who know me know that I just shut my mouth and I didn't say anything. So I just kind of nodded and smiled. I'm not supposed to, there's certain things that I can appreciate. Like she said that in someone young like me, there's a tendency for the hip flexor to get really mad because it was already pulled apart during surgery. And I think I had an iliopsoas bursitis anyway. So it says you have to be careful or you're going to develop tendonitis. Okay, I buy that. And that's why they don't want you doing like the long levers, all this hip flexor stuff like you would do in yoga and Pilates. I understand that. But I don't understand feeling like I can't do anything. I mean, I've already driven and I'm not cleared to drive. She said, well, you can start practicing doing that. So all of that felt like a big eye roll to me. So I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and I'll continue to not do the things that I think are painful or dangerous, but I'm not gonna listen to all of that generic advice quite so generically. So I want to show you my incision. Bandage is off. We self-diagnosed. Dr. Google, who can be frightening, but in this case was right on. Dr. Google diagnosed me with a seroma, and we looked it up, and that seems about right. And sure enough, that's what Allison said. I have seroma, which is pretty common. It's a pretty common complication of surgery. So it's basically a fluid buildup right at the site of the incision. Mine's at the bottom, she says is really normal. So it's almost like there's like a golf ball in there. I don't know if you can see how puffy and swollen that is. So if you look at my other hip, my friend Carrie laughs and says, suddenly you have this hip that you didn't have. But she said the incision looks great. This is just the glue sloughing off. Don't pull on it, she says. So everything looks really good there. Can't submerge in water for another month, which is a bummer. But I can shower now. She said ice the crap out of it. Now seroma, she said it could take longer to go away with more activity. And that's why she's saying the compression shorts, which I've already Amazon ordered, and just ice it every single chance I get. So that's it. I did want to shout out, last thing, I did want to shout out, there were, along my journey, there were people, usually fit, older people from Ballet Austin and Lifetime, who pointed me towards surgery long before I was willing to listen to that. So I was just like, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. But there were people who were saying, you should get surgery. You know, Gail, Barbara, there was at Ballet Austin.
Jeannie, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's recovering herself from an injury. Jeannie, Holly, there were definitely people who were pointing me there before I was willing to listen. And all of those people were saying, you won't regret it. And those people have had surgery, and I look back at them and think, yeah, they were absolutely right, and I wasn't listening. But sometimes surgery is the way to go. And look at me 2 weeks later, and I'm doing just fine. That's it, I think. I wish everybody well. I'm sorry that Austin is a dangerous place to be in some ways right now. Y'all stay safe, and we will see you soon. Okay, hi everybody. So let's see, this is hip replacement surgery video number 8. And we are at about day 26. So on Thursday, July 9th, it'll be 4 weeks since the surgery. And I'm sorry I've not been in touch, but I'm pretty busy again, and that's why. So in reverse this time. First I want to show you my scar, which looks fantastic. I got a little bit of a scab left, and I still have a little bit of that swelling, that seroma swelling. But, if you didn't know at this point, I probably may not know that I had a hip replacement. So let's see. I went to my first outpatient physical therapist yesterday, and I really like her. I think she's going to be good. I think she understands that she doesn't need to assign me more, quote, exercise. She's just going to work with me about the compensatory stuff. And as a bonus, she's also going to work with me on my knee, which has kind of come along with my hip as a problem. It seemed like it was chicken and the egg in some ways. And I'm going to do all I can to support that knee so that I don't have to have a partial knee replacement anytime soon. My range of motion is really, really good again. So if you remember from the first video, okay, here's my left hip, my good hip. Now here's my titanium, my metal hip. So if you see, I got that. I'm not gonna force it, I'm not supposed to force it yet, but I've got range of motion coming back to me again in my right hip, which is really awesome. Let's see, last week I taught at Lifetime, I taught 8 classes. 6 of them were impact, and 6 of them were me doing, and then 2 of them were yoga, which I just spoke and didn't demonstrate. and I did just fine. Rachel and Carrie are still helping me a little bit on the dance for things that I shouldn't do yet, like, you know, a lot of this pivoting stuff or jumping just on my right leg, that kind of stuff. And that went really well. That's gone really well. I'm back at Ballet Austin this Saturday for the first time. You know, we've got all sorts of crazy coronavirus restrictions or cautions, but with all those cautions, I'm back at Ballet Austin and at Lifetime too. And today is a big day because for the first time in maybe forever for me, I'm doing some live classes outside. So the first one is tonight at Covington Middle School. We're gonna do a dance outside, and we have, you know, a dozen or so women who are gonna do that with us, so that's exciting. And then on Thursday morning, we're gonna do a fitness class outside. So that's why I haven't been doing as many virtual classes, because now if you add up the Lifetime, the Ballet Austin, and the outside, then I'm pretty much back to my summer craziness, my part-time job craziness again. Another big thing tonight is some of you guys know that for many years I coached with Steve and Ruth and Carolyn at Rogue. So I coached on the bike, I coached running, and I taught core classes and yoga classes for them. And I am officially a Rogue again. So I signed up for a Couch to 5K, which is awesome. So from ultra marathon to run walking 20 minutes tonight. This is my first attempt. We'll see how it goes. Rachel joined the program too, and fingers crossed, my 11-year-old son Jude is going to try as well, which is really awesome because he's, you know, growing up and not really into exercise, and I'm hoping that maybe some part of him will get a little bit of an exercise / running bug. So that's tonight, and I'll let you know how that goes. Let's see, in terms of official, I won't see the physician's assistant again or my doctor until 6 weeks, and then they'll take an x-ray and we'll see what it looks like from the inside. But I will say from the outside, it's been miraculous. It's been great. It's also reminded me that I don't want to do it again, so I'm gonna probably make another appointment at Charm. I've done hyaluronic acid on this knee twice now, 2 rounds of it, and some steroids, but I might look into PRP for that. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing my best to stay intact and not to have to have any more surgeries anytime soon. And that's about it. Let's see, Austin, Texas, coronavirus is raging. Everybody stay safe. We miss everybody. And I hope I get to see you sometime soon. Love you. Bye. Okay, hi everybody. This is hip replacement surgery video number 9. And we were gonna wait to do our last until my follow-up 6-week appointment, but I looked at the calendar and my 6-week appointment is actually almost 7 weeks. So we wanted to check in before then, but we will, once we see the x-ray, which will be a good sort of telltale, we'll let you guys know. But so let's see, it was 5 weeks yesterday since the surgery, and I would say I'm pretty much back to where I was. There's my scar. It's almost gone. The swelling is almost gone. I have run 4 times. I guess the longest was with Rogue. Last Saturday we ran 3.5 miles. We only meant to do 3. We ran 3.5, and then I've run 3 other times, really slow. And as fit as I am, that's not the same thing as running fitness. So I'm kind of starting again with just trying to create a running base. Not worried about how slow it is because it's really slow. And I've reinstituted ice baths in the evening on the days that I run or in the days where I teach a bunch, because as insufferable as they can feel, they're really so very helpful in swelling and just keeping me functional while I'm recovering. So let's see, in terms of range of motion, I can fully squat again. It's huge. I can do this again every day. I'm able to do stuff that I couldn't do. So some of you guys know at the end it was so bad I basically couldn't stand on my right leg. If I stood on my right leg, anyone near me could hear my bones literally moving across each other. So nothing was really in between those bones anymore, and they were just going click, 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 click. Hi, just a second, baby. So now I can do just about everything on that leg, and I'm able to squat down fully for the first time in, what did we say, Rachel?
2 years.
At least 2 years. I couldn't do this, so I mean, I got to the point where I couldn't do anything close to that. So yeah, other than the x-ray, I would say I've got nothing else to say. I'm doing great. The PT's still helping me with some compensatory stuff. I'm doing these clams because my rotators just got completely weak since my hip wasn't functioning. So I'm watching that strength come back, running base, teaching a bunch of classes, and that's all I gotta say. It's been a really big success story. And I know that a couple of people we know have family members who are looking at hip replacement surgery and maybe not be as young as I am, but I personally think that the surgeries have come so far. If you get a good surgeon, there's no way you shouldn't bounce back just like I did. Okay, have a great weekend, and we will see you guys on July 29th after the x-ray for the 6-week/7-week progress. Bye. All right, good morning everybody. Hi. Sorry for the delay on our last video. We've been busy. So this is the last hip surgery replacement video. I believe it's number 10. I think it's number 10. So I saw the doctor. It's supposed to be a 6-week follow-up, but it was a day shy of 7 weeks. So it was 7 weeks on last Thursday. And we did an x-ray, and everything looks good. I want to show you the x-ray. If you are prudish, you can kind of see the outline of my body, so don't look. But it's pretty cool, pretty wild. So Rachel's gonna zoom in there. You can see that it's surgical steel going down into my femur bone, and then I think that on the very top is a plastic cap, and there's one screw. And the only time I can tell that it is not organic bone is when I'm lying on a hard surface on my belly. You can absolutely tell that it's metal in there. And my friend Penny warned me of that. But basically the x-ray looks fantastic, and he cleared me for all activity, except he still doesn't want me to run. And I didn't tell him otherwise. He did say that they're just getting more and more data points. So, you know, we're kind of the guinea pigs, people around my age, because it hasn't been long that people under the age of 50 who were really active started getting hip replacements, and I'm one of those. And now they're getting these data points now going up to 20 years, and there's no sign of any damage. So that's the concern, is that if I run on it, that I'm going to damage it sooner, or I'm going to have another hip replacement. But I've decided that that's a risk that, you know, I'm going to, in a calculated way, take. So basically Rachel and I are running 3 times a week, super slow. I have 0 running base anymore. And my hip will continue to heal for a year. But he said the bone's already grabbed onto it. So he didn't say anything bad about that x-ray. But I'm running 3 times a week with Rachel. We're staying off of the concrete for my sake. She's staying slow for my sake right now, although I tend to tell her, go on your way. And I'm still taking ice baths, and I probably still will after I run, just to make sure that I minimize any inflammation or damage. But I want to thank everybody for being supportive, and I hope that these videos can be helpful to someone who was as scared as I was to do this, who thought that my quality of life was going to be dramatically reduced, and is so happy to report, on the contrary, better than ever, and looking forward to my 49th year around the sun. I'll be 48 tomorrow. And that's it. God bless. Good luck, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.